One of the major differences when you think about Old World and New World, not putting one down or favoring another, is that Old World, the Old World, if we consider European countries, if we think about France and Italy and Spain and some of the Eastern European countries, been making wine for centuries and centuries, and it's never been so much a learned process in terms of in a classroom, studying the sort of technical advances that come along. It's more something you would learn from your father, who learned it from his father. You're transmitting from father to son, from mother to daughter, a passion and an art of making wine. Whereas in the New World, most countries making wine, really strong wine production only in the last 100, 200 years. It was seen as something to be learnt, and to be learnt by a first generation that was starting from nothing, who had never really worked vines. And so it was a science. They took a scientific approach to it rather than an artistic approach to it, and really looked into the best methods, the best technological advances, using stainless steel, using certain pesticides and herbicides, obviously, moving away from that now, but when things started out. Looking to bring a really cold, scientific, logical approach to something that isn't. I mean, one vintage is fantastic, the next vintage is a washout based on the climate. It isn't something that you can fully calculate. And I think what was so rich when the New World really started to gain strength and power was that they taught the Old World so much by saying you've got to have more hygiene in your cellars, you've got to step up to certain modern techniques that can allow greater expression in your wines. But at the same time, they were so eager and ready to learn from the Old World, to develop this passion, this artistry, this patience that the wine demands. And so they're starting to become this really exciting marriage of Old World and New World techniques, marrying science and art to make for much more interesting winemaking all around. That we're seeing in our Loras range of our Hermitage, our Loras Cornas, our Loras Saint-Joseph, is that we use very modern techniques. We have stainless steel tanks as well as wooden tanks. We try and marry the two so that our wines are approachable young and maybe develop and become more expressive and more bold and more aromatic over time to a certain point. But that we have developed this nice, approachable fruit earlier on than maybe we were before. So it's exciting times for the conjuncture of Old and New World, I think.